Alright everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to take a look at how to create this particular part of the dashboard. This is actually, one of part 5 dashboards that we've created. So here's the home page. Today we're going to take a look at how to create this particular home page. And from this home page, you can navigate straight up to the detail page right here where you can see transaction. If I click right here, what you're going to see right now is actually quantity order. Then here it gives us net sales. That is not just all. You can do in-page navigation where I can actually click and see it based on monthly, quarterly, and even weekly basis and all of that. But our focus today is going to be on this particular return analysis right here. That is exactly what you're trying to do. So if you have not hit the subscribe button before, maybe it is your best time to actually get to do that. So let's start with Power BI Desktop. Okay, previous one we've created. You might want to take a look at how we did the page navigation between one page to another and the in-page navigation without we leaving this page. So right now we're going to open a new blank slate to begin with. So what I'm just going to show you is the measure we've written. And before the measure, let me take you down to this particular data view right here. If you have watched my first and second video, you will definitely get what I'm about to explain right here right now. So we have this particular table called return, fact table return. Here is a fact table. So we have quantity and the unit price. This can actually help us to calculate how much we did refund back to the customers that returned some products. And we want to check how can we visualize this. So what you can do is to check inside the same table, which other table in our model that this particular table has relationships with. Okay, it has relationship with product key and the customer table, and as well the date table. Those are the three tables we can actually use to get to visualize this. So you need to understand this. Secondly, when we get back here right now, we have a measure that we've created for this, and the measure is called total refund. That is how much have we refunded back to the buyers. So we calculated that over the fact table return, and as well we use the column of the quantity returned and multiply it by the unit price of every single product they return, and that gave us the total refund. So what we have not actually calculated is actually the total quantity returned. I think we've not done that. So it's going to be very easy. I'm going to right click right here and just create new measure. Instead of a new measure right now, we want to see how many of those particular products they have returned, and we have the column inside our fact table returns. So here is our quantity return. To do that, we just want to use the sum function. Very easy. It's a single column. So you have to actually type fact table here, or you can type return. So once you type in return, what you're looking for from the fact table return is actually the quantity return. And this is the quantity return right here. Go ahead and click that, then close the sum and hit enter. That just calculates your total returned for you. So this is not all. We have one more measure to create in this aspect. That is going to be our return or refund rate. Refund rate is a percentage. So we want to do that. Just take a look at how we just got to achieve that. It's very simple. Create a new measure. So this is going to be our percentage of refund rate. So I always love to use the divide function to do this because it's going to actually handle divide by 0. So what I'll do is just to say divide, and once I say divide right here, I have that particular refund I have calculated, which is exactly what we have done right now. So you actually click on the square bracket on your keyboard, and all the measures you've written will definitely appear right here, and you can choose the one you want to go for. Very easy. You don't have to start thinking like what it is. So here I have that particular refund value, and I'm gonna have my comma right here for the denominator, and with still my square bracket, all I have to actually divide this by right now is gross revenue, and here is my gross revenue. I do that. Okay, for the alternate result, what do I want? If there is any division by 0, I put 0 there because I don't want to have an error. So I can just go ahead and have this closed and hit my enter. That just calculated my refund rate for me. So all I just have to do right now is to make sure I convert this to a percentage, and that is all you need to do. So after the conversion, so what next do you do? It is time for you to start visualizing this data. So is that all? Not all. So let me show you one of the unique parts you might be very much interested in seeing how I did it. All right, back to Power BI service. Look at this part here. We have the customer. When I click on the customer, it switched to my top 2 customers. But what if what my boss wants to see is not the top 2 customers? Instead, he wants to see beyond top 2 customers. For example, we are seeing top 7 customers right now. So can you see that right here? Okay, select. Can you see? We are seeing top 7 customers. So if you want to see it on a product level, look at this particular title right here. The title will automatically change to, top 7 product with high returns. And if I click on here, what do I have? We have top 7, customer with high returns. And we can actually change between 5, 6, 7. I think we have the maximum to be like 30. Can you see that right now? So you're going to have a lot of information with scroll bar right here. So how did we achieve this? This is exactly what I want to show you before we definitely set for the visualization. Let's get back to Power BI Desktop. Okay, let us first of all insert in your visual here. So you can right click, and when you right click, you're going to see where it says add visual. So click on that, you're going to have this particular visual right here. So inside this visual, what we want to have is the total returned quantity. So I'll go right here and you click on my measure area, or you can actually type here and say return. So once you type in return, you will definitely see quantity returned right here. Can you see that? So it's a measure. We've actually dragged that in. So first of all, let us break this down by, I think, customer name. So the customer name would be an ideal. Let's actually go back here to add data, and inside add data, you can go to your customer table. This is the customer lookup table here. So we need to actually get the customer name. So I think we have the city here. You can scroll down a little bit and see where I have my customer name writing. So here we just use the customer. So when you click on the customer, what you're going to have is actually this. So we don't want a chart. We want it to be on a table. So go ahead and actually do this. So we want to see it on a table level. So we've just converted this to actually a table right now. All right, here is our value of the customers that actually return some products. So I can actually sort this and make it from the highest down to the lowest number. So here is it right here. So the next thing we need to do now to create what we've just seen in Power BI service is for we to make sure we rank those customers. So which means we need to write some measures, right? So I'm going to right click right here and just create a new measure. In this new measure, let's see what we're going to do. So let's name this particular measure called ranking. So I'm going to name it ranking, or I can just say, okay, I think ranking is an ideal name. So I'm going to put my equal sign right here. So with the equal sign, how do we rank this? So we have a function existing in Power BI called rank X. So with the rank X, we can actually rank this to help us with what we want. So ranking this now, we're going to use the all function to actually remove filter from the customer table. So how do we do that? So I'm going to use the all function here. And you know what all is looking for? So let's see this. So you learn by reading through the tooltip you have right here. So the all function is either looking for a table or a column. So right now we're going to give it a column, and that column is going to be customer. So customer column. So we have this particular lookup as a table. This lookup customer is a table. So we have another column right here named customer. Can you see lookup customer? Those are your customers' name. I think the customers use their company name, right? So with that, now you can actually go ahead and close this and give a comma. So right now we are going to give it the expression, and the expression is what do we want to use to rank this. So we want to use the customer measure called return quantity to actually have this ranked. That is exactly what we want. We just create back bracket. You can see all the measures you've created. So scroll through and see where you want to pick from. I think we want to keep from the total quantity returned or refund. I think that's gonna be cutie. So here we have it, quantity returned. Here we go. So once you've done this, you put your comma. It's asking for the value. We want to skip this value. How do we skip it? We skip the value within that comma, and that actually takes us to order. How do we want to sort this? Okay, we want to do it descending. Here we go. So we hit enter. I think that should be all. So we've just created a ranking for this, and this is not all. It's just one side of it, but let's look at the result we have right here. Okay, so we need to click a ranking here. Okay, our result is fine. So we have it ranked from 1 to the highest number. That is exactly what we want, not from the highest number to the lowest number. But this one here is absolutely fine. Okay, I love this. So do we really need to create this separately before we create another measure? We can do it that way, but we can actually introduce what we call variable into this. How do we do that? All right, so I'm going to actually have this inside a variable. Shift enter is going to push it into a new line for me. And now I'm going to actually type in my variable name here called var. And in this variable, I want to name it rank customer. Rank customer, rank underscore customers. So here I put my equal sign. You can step it down. And here we go. Okay, look at what is happening right here, right now. We've just told in this very code inside this particular rank customer. So whatever happens to this particular code below it will definitely affect this particular, variable name we have right here. I think it's better. So with this now, we can go ahead and do another magic right below here. So let's create another variable here and name that variable results. The result we want to see is the variable here. So inside our result, what we want here is to use the if condition to tell what we want to see. So I'm going to say if right here. So the if is going to check if this particular variable here, this variable, I told you this code, all this code here, its effect is going to be on this particular rank customer. So now I'm going to say if rank customer, rank customers here, if rank customers here is actually less than or equal to, for example, let's use 3. So if that is the case, the result, what I want is actually, I want the quantity returned. So I'm going to actually come here and actually say quantity returned. And this is what I have. Okay, fine. I've done that. I want to close. I don't give it the, if the result is false, automatically is going to default to, nothing. But let us look at this so that you shouldn't make the same mistake. If I put my comma right here, right now, it's saying if the result is actually false, like this, and I give it the quotes and I close it, that means if the result is false, give me blank. So let us look at this before we definitely do the right thing. Let's look at what result we're going to have with something like this. So after this now, shift enter to go into the next line, and inside this line now, what I want to do is the return to print my result out. So we need to project this on the screen. Shift enter. Now we are going to actually return the results we have. This is exactly what it is. So if I hit my enter key right now, let's find out if this is working. So it should change the value we have right here currently right now. I think it's working. Let's find out. Okay, now as you can see, we actually selected top 3, if I'm not mistaken, on the ranking aspect here. So we selected top 3, and the top 3 is what we have right now. Okay, what happens if we decide to remove this particular quantity return? As you can see, the top 3 is equal to 1, 2, 3 right here. And if I decide to remove this particular quantity returned, let's see what we're gonna have on the screen. So I'm gonna scroll down. I think I've done this on my channel before, but I don't know, I can't remember it. So I'm gonna remove this particular one away from here. So now, can you see? So I have to go and sort again before I can be able to see that particular value, right? I have to sort again. So now we have the value and we have those customers. We don't need to see those customers right here that does not have any value, all that. We want to remove them. So the mistake we've made was because we gave the older, alternative result. So now here we have to remove this double quotation. So we don't want to actually specify result is false. So once the result is false, it's going to default to blank and no customers will be shown. If I hit my enter key, let us look at the results. This time around, I might decide to show like the top 5 customers. So let's see what we're going to see on the top 5 customers. Okay, it's working. Can you see it now? We only see the top 5 customers. We don't see other customers under the top 5 customers. And this is exactly what we want to do. So with this now, we can actually convert this into a chart. And I want to use this particular kind of chart right here. But something is a bit weird right here right now. It's not sorted the way we want. So can we sort this really? Yeah, for sure, we can. So these 3 dots here is what you're going to click for more options. And once you've clicked on that, you can see sort axis right here. I want to sort by ranking. So now it's working. So it has been sorted for me. So this is just what we need. So now we can actually clean it up a little bit. So click on here, go to more option. And we want to go ahead and touch our x-axis. For the x-axis, we want to actually remove them totally, both the ranking and the numbers we have right there. So if I scroll down a little bit right now, I can see my title here. I click on it and I scroll up and I totally turn it off. So that is better. So for this particular y-axis right here, what I'll do is just to turn off the title alone, and that cleans up my code for me. So for this very rank by customer, we don't actually need this. We want to make it very dynamic. So we are going to create our dynamic title ourselves. So watch what we're going to do to that. I think for now, we are very much cool with what we have. So we can adjust this anytime as we keep progressing towards the class. So once we create our template, we'll see how to actually fix this particular one right here. But for now, let's have something like this. So are we really satisfied with what we have? No, because we've just done for customers. We want to do another one for product. So what we can do now is to copy and paste the same thing down. So with this one, what we want to do right here is to create for our product. So now we have to go back to the data here. So with the data clicked, what we want to do is going to our ranking. So this ranking here, its name should be changed. Ranking by customer. Ranking by customer. So we want to be specific about what ranking is this. We have done this ranking by customer. So all I have to do right now is just to Ctrl A and Ctrl C to copy this away from here. And what I'll do right now is to create a new measure. Inside this new measure, I have to paste it in. I don't have to do this for the second time again. That is all I have to do, paste. So once we pasted this in, the next thing we do now is not going to be ranking by customer any longer. So instead, it's going to be ranking by product. Ranking by products. Okay, fine. So all we have to change right here. So for now, we're not going to remove filter from this particular customer because we're not dealing with customer right now. So this time around, we're going to do product. And this product is going to be under return. Is it under return? No, it's going to be product name. Product name. So do we have a product name? I think we have a product on its own. So we have product detail. Just so here is it. We have the product name here. So that is exactly what we want. So we do not need to change anything again aside with ranking products right here. Let us just convert this to products. So definitely we have to change this as well because we're going to have an error here. So we need to remove this for now and we change it to product. And here we have the variable, right? So if I hit my enter right now, so we have this newly. So we're going to change one of those particular charts right here to, feed from this particular new ranking we have just created. And that is going to be this one right here. So what happens if I decide to change the value first or the measure first? So let's find out. If I change the measure first, the measure wouldn't find the right y-axis to actually, filter this by. So let's do that. So ranking by product now. So it's going to be destroyed. Can you see that now? So what I need to do here is for me to change it to product name. So I'm going to just make a search here, product name. So here we go. So now everything is correct. But that is not just all, buddy. We need to actually do something very cool. What if our boss says, you know what? What I want to say is not a top 5, but I want to say like top 3, top 4, top 6, top 10, top 11, top 12, whatsoever. Do we have to go here and start doing that manually? I think it's not the best idea to do that. So coming here to change this now to top 3. So we'll only change for one. It wouldn't change for both of them, right? And what I want is when I do this, I want it to be automatically done for me, right? So here I have the top 3 products and I have the top 5 customers, and here is not cool. So let us automate this a little bit. So what we can do in that aspect now is we go to this particular modeling here. On that modeling, I'm gonna make it easy. I can write the measure to do this, but I think it's gonna be a long way. Once we have a short way to do this, let's go through this particular new parameter. Okay, I think they've added a field. Previously, before now, there was not fields. So now we're gonna use the numeric range right here. So let us wait for it. So there you have it. So what will your variable adjust? So numeric range. If it's going to adjust a field, you can select field right here. So you can do that, which means you can make a switch. So here is the parameter is the default name given. So I'm going to actually say ranking value. Ranking selection. Select ranking. That is what I want to use as the name, right? So right here, type of data type is what you're going to choose. So we have whole number, decimal, and fixed decimal right here. So let me go with whole number. And for the minimum right here, I want to put 1. So for the maximum, I can put like 30 or higher than that. So it depends on what your boss wants or what you want to actually, show your boss. So the increment should be 1 and the default should be 0. If nothing is selected, we want there to be blank. If that is what you want, you can put that right there. So you're going to decide to put a number for your default. Maybe you want to say default is 1, default is 2, default is 3. It's all your choice, but I just want to put 0 right in here. For this very aspect here, add slicer to this page, make sure you leave it. So right now, I think if you've not hit the subscribe button, you might want to do that, like, share, and leave a comment. Let me know what you feel about this and show me a better way to do this if you think you have a better way to have this done. So now we have create. So just click on create right here. So we're going to have a table right now inserted. A table. Yes, a whole table will be inserted for us. So now, first of all, on our screen, we have a projection of a filter where we can select between 1 to 30. Can you see? The max here is actually 30 and the minimum is 1. And the default is 0. When you use this, it's going to clear it and nothing is showing up right here, which means is 0. To those of you who had known how this works, Congratulations. But I want to show you what happens or what just happened behind the scene. So we have a table here named select ranking. If I open it up right now, we have one measures and one column here. So if I click on this right now, it says here select ranking. So we have generate series from 1 to 30, and the default here is 1. I used to learn my code this way. If I want to see what happens here now, I'm going to actually remove this and I put it back. So here I can have the help of the IntelliSense right here. It says end value. The end value now is actually 1. So increment value. So the starting value is this one here. So if we put comma now is the end value. So all that, just remove this and you'll learn through. And the next one is actually a measure right here called selected value. I've used this a lot. Don't worry, we're going to use this in a jiffy. You'll see how this particular selected value works. So now this is going to show you what is being selected. If nothing selected, I want to see 0. That was why we put 0 right there. So if we put 1, we're going to see 1 right here. So now that is how it works. We're not right here to do anything. This is what we're going to use. Select ranking value is what we're going to use. And let's see where we are going to use this. So I'm going to open back my measure. And right here, I'm going to start with this particular one called ranking by customers. And on this particular number right here is what I want to change. I'm going to actually have to remove that 5. And remember the table we just created is called select rank. Yeah, I think select. So is this select like this? Oh, I got it. So now we have select. We did not put a T. We made that mistake. Sorry for that. So that was why I was actually searching for what was not there. So I'm going to click on this. So if you look at what I've done now, the one with selected value, if you look at the measure that actually produced this, it has selected value right here. This is the one we used. So we don't need to do anything beyond what we have done right now. Just go ahead and hit your enter and the work is done for you. So now we're going to go into the next one, which is the product one. I think it has not done the work for us. Make sure this is working. If it is working, it's going to change what you see. So let's see the next one. Here I do the select and here we have it right. So we can hit our enter key. And that is exactly what it is. So what we're going to see now is what we have selected. So let us find out if this is really actually doing what we asked for. So we have top 5. I'm going to reduce it to, for example, let us take it to top 3. So we should have both of them. Can you see that? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And if I put this to top 1, I'm seeing 1. To top 30, I'm going to see top 30. Can you see them now? That is beautiful. If I clear it away from here, nothing is showing. It shows me blank. That was because I did not actually put the default to 1. So right now we can just increase it to top 2. And this is exactly what we want. So first of all, this is exactly what you need to do to actually have this created. But something is not quite well right now. Okay. The title here needs to be dynamic. So we have to spend some time creating this particular dynamic title for we to actually make it very clear what is being selected. So let's look at how to do that. So we're going to call this measure title. Let's call it title. And this title is going to be for product. So put my equal sign here, shift and enter to go into the next line. So variable will definitely help us to do this. So let me show you how to use the selected value. You've just seen that the parameter generated for us automatically. So I'm going to call this variable, and this variable is right now is going to be selected top n here. So I'm going to call it selected underscore top n. So it's going to be equals to, right? So inside this particular variable, I want to actually store in what is being selected from select ranking, right? So I'm going to use a function called selected value. So with selected value, I'll put my select ranking here. Can you see? So I'm going to close it. So I want to verify if this is actually what you want. You get it? I want to verify this. So to do that now, I can actually say return, and the return is going to return this particular selected. So selected top N is what I want to return. So let's find out here. So if I do this now, I want to push this over a card. So nothing has been selected now. No, or none of this chart has been selected. So push this over a card. Let's see what the result is going to look like. So the result is 5 right here. It's 5. So let's find out if this is working. So can you see we have 8 as result, and if I put it on 4, we have 4 as result. That is the first thing we need to do. That shows it's working. So now if that is working, let's go back here and click back on it. So right now, forget about the return aspect here. Let's focus on this particular part. So we're going to create another variable here. And this time around, we want to call this variable as result. So variable result. So equals. And in this particular result, what we wanted to do is using some concatenation function and stuff like that, I'm gonna say top, just give a space, close the top, and use the ampersand right here to concatenate what is being selected right here. So we want to say top 4, right? So to say top 4 right now, what you need to do is to make sure you concatenate the variable that actually produced this particular value right here inside here, which is this particular selected top N, right? So I'm gonna say selected top N. So here we have it. So now we do another ampersand right here, double quotation, give a space. If you don't give a space, it's going to be joined together. So always maintain the space. Now we are doing for product. So it's going to be top 4 products with highest return. So top 4 product with highest returns, or with high, let us just use high return, with high return or highest return. So I don't know, you can just do that yourself. I think we are actually done right now. So the next thing is for we to actually have this clause. We are doing this for once, and we copy and paste and just make a little change, and that is all we need to do. So if this is done, we don't need to return this again. So what we need to return now is to return our result right here. So here is going to be my results. So let's find out if this is working. It's going to change the number 4 to this top 4, right? So I love it. So it's working. But my top 4 here, I want to have a dash right on the top 4, not underscore, a dash. So what I would do now is just to come here. So close this gap and put a dash right here. And if I hit my enter, you can now see the result would be different. I have something like this. So don't mind this card. We don't see everything, but we're going to see everything in JV. So the next thing now is for me to do my Ctrl C, and I go ahead and actually insert a new measure. Guess what? Inside this new measure I've just created, I'm going to paste in the copied one here. And all I just want to do is just change like 2 things, I believe. I think. Yeah, sure. 2 things right here. So let's do that. So I'm going to change this product to customer. And after that, do I have to do anything else? Okay, yeah, we have to do this again, this product to customer as well. To customer. So what else? I think we're done with that. So we have just done justification to all of this. So we're good to go, right? So what next do we do? We can click here now and make sure we give it the appropriate title. So this time around, we are not going to use this basic title here. Let's click here and see what happens. Okay, under this formatting here, so we have to click here. we go to where we have our title right in. So it's turned on. Click on it and make sure you open it. And instead of us to have this basic title here, we can click on this FX to actually use, use field value. So field value right here. I'm going to change this, and I'll go into all measure. Then I'm going to look for title that we've created. So title, and the title is the one for customer. So let's try that. If I click on OK, so that is done for me. Top for customer with highest returns. So I'm going to do the same thing to my product. So we select, and we go here. We just scroll down a little bit. So once we scroll down, we go to title, and that is for the product. And if I click on OK, that gives me this. Okay, the next thing now, before I go, I just want to make sure I have this formatted. That's exactly what it is. We just want to format this. And to format it now, let's scroll down a bit. I can just do center. I can click on there. Let me select the one that is going to be some kind of bolder. So I'm going to select a different font now. If I scroll down, I can see this particular font right here. I think I love this font a lot. So I don't really want to use this black color. So I want to select something very more chilly. I think this one should be okay. Let's go with this one. This one should be okay. So now it's giving me the top 4, and I can actually do copy and paste to have the same formatting right here. So let's find out if I select top 3 right now. So you can see top 3 customer with highest returns. Top 3 products with highest return. So because we're analyzing for returns, so we don't necessarily need to use this same color we've used right now. We're going to use something like a red color. You understand? So communicate with colors. So achievement is already done. So the next thing now, I'm going to actually create the navigation. It's going to be an epic video, but you just have to be patient to watch through what we're going to do to achieve everything we need to achieve right here. All right, the next thing I'm going to do right now is to see how we can actually create a navigation between these two, because we are going to overlap those particular 2 charts right here. Okay, if I click on view here now, I can go to my selection. And now if I see this selection, let us some kind of see everything right here. It's a lot of text, right? So I don't really like what I'm saying. So what can I do now is for me to actually click on this one. Definitely I'm highlighting product. So I can double click on this one here. I can just say product chart. So here is a customer. I'll name this one customer chart. Okay, that is beautiful. Oh no, it does affect what we see. Can you see that now? It has changed the title for us. We don't need to do this. It was a big mistake. We should have left it the way it is and just try as much as we could to be able to relate to what we have on this particular selection path. Damn it. All right, no problem. We can fix it. Very simple. We did it ourselves, so we can actually fix all the bugs. Okay, let's get back to here again. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to do this, but it happened. It happened. So we're going to go here now. I think that is not there. So we go to the title. We click back here. We want to change what we have at the default area. So I forgot that it's going to change that for me, but I think we can fix things around. So this is my title for customers. So we just want to select that and click on OK. And we do the same thing right here. If you've done this, you just have to follow my step again to actually have this done. So if you are not too fast to do that, that's your luck. So we take this off. I'm going to scroll down a little bit right here and I get to where I have my title for product. So I think that is good. So now if I return back right here, so we want to make use of what we have. I think we still have something that makes a lot of sense right here. So we don't need to actually make it shorter. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do right now is to actually make sure we come to insert here. And inside, I'm going to actually go ahead and open this particular buttons up, and I want to get the blank one here. So with the blank one inserted, I can actually move it right here and even make it bigger. So we've done this in the previous video. I think it's very simple and easy. You can do this by now. So if you think you've lost out on that particular video, I think this video is going to make you very, yeah, sure. It's going to make you understand what we are doing. So now, first of all, I want to be speedy about this because already I've taught this before. And for this one right now, I just want to make sure I have some rounded corner. And if it is too much, I want to put it on less than 20. Let us use now 5, for example. I think 5 is too little. 12 is going to be cool. I think 12 is cool. I think I love it this way. Okay, right now we have border around it. So I want to take off the border. I just have to scroll down until I have my border, and I'm going to turn off the border, right? So here is a fill. So here is my border. And now for the fill right here, I just have to turn on the fill and change the fill color. And this color is going to be my default color. If nothing is selected, this is what I want to see. So we are just done with this. If I select it now, this is what we have on the screen. So now I click back right here and I scroll down. So make sure this one is at default level, and you just scroll down a little bit. So once you do that, you're going to see the text area here, and I want to type in here my customer. So customer. And for the customer here, that is nice. So we can definitely use a font that is going to actually pop out very well. I think that is going to be this particular one here. So let us put it on something like, yeah, something like this. Size 12. So I'm going to scroll up a little bit now. From default, I want to put it on hover. So on hover now, I'm going to scroll up a little bit, and I'm going to actually have to increase this. So when I hover over it, I'm going to have this particular effect, right? I think this is exactly all I need to do. So I can just have something like this. Can you see it now? It's not my button. So I'm going to just duplicate this one this time around. I'm going to do copy and paste. I have it pasted. So now before we actually decide on colors, I can choose any color right here, but it's going to be something like a red color that we're going to use for the whole background of our dashboard. Not filling it with red color, but it's going to be the color that will control majority of the chart. So now we have to change the color to this. That is going to be our selection. So we scroll down until we get our, so here we have to click on this and go to the fill again. So I'm sorry, I just selected that. So we have, the fill here. So for the fill right now, for what is being selected, I want to use something like, yeah, something like this. So it's not showing up, so we have to go right here and make sure we put it on 0%. So what happens, this is actually on hover. That is the mistake you shouldn't make. I've just made a mistake. So I want to return this back to the color. If something is hover, I still want to select this color, but this time around I have to go up, do it up right here and take it away from on hover to default. So what I want to change color for is actually default. So we have to scroll all the way back down, right? So now here we can select this. So when something is selected, this is the color we want to see, but on hover, we can hover and we see this color. But on hover right now, we can change its color to on hover, but I don't think that is really important, right? So we can leave it that way. So now on hover on what is not selected, it's going to give us the same effect. So now we've gotten this done. We don't have to do this over and over again. We can just do copy and paste. And now we drag this right here. So what do we do to this? Just click on this one and watch me. Go here. So once you are here, make sure what you have right now is the default. So once you have the default, just come here and change this to product. Oh, I think I've mistakenly selected that. So we click on this. So we change this to product. So make sure it's correct. Do the same thing to this one. You will change this to product. That is all we need to do. So we have just done justification to this. So the next thing right now is just to make sure we actually select all of them together. I'm going to click right here and look at what happens. They are actually both selected. So I'm going to right click on this one and just go to group and group them together. So now I can name this one to be my product BTN. btn. So it is something I've done before, and I'm stating it again just to make sure I give clarity to what you're doing. So right here, I'm going to name this one active. So I'm just going to name it p active. P active, yeah, p active. So I can name this one p inactive. So inactive. So now we can select the content inside. So we've selected them now. I'll go to my format here. I'll go to align, and then now I'm going to align center. And now I'm going to align middle. So here we go. Nicely done, right? So I'm going to keep this somewhere around here for now. We can move it later after all. So this is not the best time to do that. So let me just keep it somewhere around here just to actually make sure we have something, right? So I just highlight this one. So they are highlighted. So what I need to do right now is to group them together as well. So group. So we group them. So now I can double click and change the name of the group to my customer btn. So we open the content inside. I'm going to make this one my C active. C for customer active. So for this next one here, if I double click on it now, I'm going to make it my C inactive. So don't mind my writing here. Okay, that is better. So I can select the content inside. Don't include the button, right? So we just do the same thing we've done to the other one. We go to align, we align center, we come back here, we align middle, and now we can move it all the way down. I told you, don't mind where we have them right now. Can you see them now? So quickly, it is something I've done before. If you've watched my previous video before now, you would have seen how I did all this. So right now, it's time for me to correct things right here. So I'm going to actually make sure I click on this. So this is what I've clicked on now. So this is my product. So I'm going to come to my customer here and turn off the active customer. So now I'm seeing the inactive. Can you see it now? Beautiful. I can just go ahead and close it. So I want to make sure I turn off the inactive for my product as well. So I'm going to turn off. Can you see that? So what I have turned on now is the active one. So I'm going to select the group together. Can you see it now? So I've selected the group. So the next thing to do now is to go back to view here. And on view, you can see this bookmark. I'm going to click on it. So I have a bookmark here. So all those bookmarks, we actually created all of this in the first video. You're going to have a lot of bookmarks. If you want to follow through all I've done, you're going to have a lot of bookmarks here, but it's not hard to trace what bookmark is for what. So now I'm going to actually click on add. So on the add now, I can double click on this and I change the name to active product. So active product. So let's do that. Active product. So here we go. So once we've done that now, let us come here now and actually make sure we say data. We actually uncheck it. So we go ahead and update this. So let's get back here and make sure what we have selected is true. So active product, that is better. So this time around, we want to actually make it inactive. I'm going to actually have to deselect this. So it has disappeared, right? So now for the active button, I want to bring up the inactive, turn it on, and turn off the active button. This is what you have. So can you see that? So make sure you still have the chart itself selected with the group of the button. Not the button itself, but the groups. So go back right here right now and add a new one. Double click on this and make this one in active product. So here we go. So we have to follow the same thing. Just deselect the data here. And finally, you go ahead and update. So if I click on this one, it appears. If I click on this one, it disappears. I want to keep it on disappearing mode and return back to here. So this time around, what I'm going to do is to select this very one here. If I select this one, I want to make it inactive for the first time. So it's inactive now. I'm going to select it. So I'm going to go ahead and open this one up. That is the active button, the BTN for customer. I'll hold my control key to click it and they are both selected. So this is going to be my inactive state. So let's get back here. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on add. And if I double click on this, so this is gonna be my inactive customer. So now we do the same thing. We come here, we take the data off, and we go here, we update it. So now we can go back here now and put it on active state. So first of all, we have to turn off what? We have to turn off the turn on the active and turn off the inactive. Can you see that? Turn off the inactive here. That is better. So make sure this particular one is selected. The button itself is selected. Once that is done, hold your control key to select the chart as part of it. And once you have done that, we can turn the chart on. So the chart is on and selected. So we go back to our bookmark again and we add a new bookmark. So this time around, if I double click right here, I can go ahead and actually do this active customer right there. So finally, we are done. So we can just do this and come here again and update it. So now everything is working well. So we want to see how we can actually integrate this. So what we need to do first is come here, double click on the product. You must make sure you double click on it until you see this particular action right here. Turn the action on. Once you've done that, click on it and make sure you select bookmark. So on the bookmark, you come here, and what we want to have to appear right now is the product. So we're going to select the active product right here. So we've just done that. Let us test it out and see if this is working. If I do this now, so here it shows this one for us. So now we can go ahead and select this one. But before we do that, what I want to do now is to combine those two charts together. I'm going to select this chart and as well this particular chart. Then I go to my format. I don't have to guess it and all of that. So I'm going to do it right here. I want to move this to the left hand corner. Let's move to the left. And to be sure of the proper alignment, align middle, and I can finally say align center. And that is done for me. So we can come to the button right here, double click on the button until you see action. So take it off, double click again. Okay, the action is not coming up. I wonder why it's happening. I think it happened to me once. I can see the action. The action is not coming up. Okay. Let's find out why that's. If it happened that it does not come up, what you need to do is to actually, close your PC. Close the software itself, not shutting down the PC, and you reopen Power BI. And by the time you click on it, you will see the action. So it happened to me several times, and that is the only way I solve the situation. So now I can turn on the action here, and remember we are trying to actually use bookmark, and from bookmark we want to see the active customers, right? So we'll look at this particular place. Here is the inactive and here is the active one. Can you see that? So right now we should be able to switch between the two. That is beautiful. Now we can switch between the two. So what is next? We're going to find a place to actually have this right. And so it's not yet the time to do this. I'm going to bring this down right here. So quickly, I want to create other part of this dashboard. Then we'll now see how we can actually make things very easy ourselves. So let me get this away from here. So we need to get some cards. I want to get a card here. I have my card here, and I want to fill this card with a measure. And the measure for this card is going to be quantity ordered. So here you can just make a search of what you want. So here, if I do quantity, so we have quantity returned, not ordered. So quantity returned. So here we go. I can just do a duplicate of this one and I bring it down here. So on this one here, I want to see how much have we refunded back to the people who returned some products. So, and this time around is going to be total refund. So that is $6 million US. That is huge. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do right now is to actually see, okay, what if we try to see the return rate? So here we put our return rate. So we just change what we have here and we use total return rate is a percentage. So go up a little bit, and here you have it. So if you don't want to leave it on this, you can just go to the measure itself. So here we have the measure, and I want to put it on just one single decimal place, and that is going to be 7.6 or 7.9, I presume. Yeah, 7.9, approximately 7.9. So it's going to approximate 1 to this, and it's going to be 9. Oh, is that it? Yeah, 7.8. Okay, what is going to happen is this: we can just do 0. Let's use one single decimal place. I think we should be having 8%. Yeah, sure. Okay, now after this, what do we need to do? I'm gonna just make sure I move this one closer now. The formatting is coming. At initial stage, you don't do formatting. You just have to keep it for the time that is right. So you do that. So here now, we're gonna have to visualize some time series that is monthly data. So now what I want to do now here under this one is for me to be able to actually create something that somebody can drill through, right? So first of all, I go here. We have a calendar we've created in the first part of the video. On the x-axis right here, I want to actually have my year. So go to the calendar and bring the year down. You can actually add the month. So I am going to add a month. And right here, I want to add a quarter. So go to the same place again, and the quarter, I've added it. Okay. The next thing now is for me to actually add the gross revenue versus, I think that's going to be, so what I want to show mainly on the chart is actually my refund, total refund, and that is going to be on the y-axis aspect right here. So clicking on it right now, we have to type in refund. So here is our refund. So we have the refund, and this is the trend of the refund. So remember, we can always use this to actually drill down and drill up through this. Can you see that now? So you can see, you can do this. So we're going to actually have to stretch this, and let's do that. Just stretch this. Okay. For we to actually have this rightly, what we need to do is to quickly format this. I'm going to go ahead and format my x-axis here. Scroll down a bit, turn off the title, and we don't need the x-axis at all, the y-axis rather, so we take it off. It's gone. So for the x-axis, I want to scroll down, and I'm going to turn off the title of it. So the title is already off. Okay, I think we're still on the y-axis. So now here is this. I'm going to go for the title. Okay, it's turned off. So all I want to see is just the month. I can see a lot of people doesn't know how to use this particular chart right here. So let me show you the level of interactivity we can have on this. So I'm going to first of all turn on this. So we have the 2010 down to 2013. So if I select this one, click to turn on drill down. So you just want to make sure you select this. And if I select this one now, I'm saying it based on the monthly basis right here. So you can keep any of this view. So to make your chart very clean for now. So when I hover over it, I want to see a tooltip that actually, tell me about my refund rate, and as well the gross revenue we generated before we actually refunded part of it. Okay, now what do I do in that particular case? So I can click on here. And if I scroll down now, I can see where it says tooltip. Under the tooltip right here, I want to actually see my gross revenue. So here is going to be gross, and I'm going to see gross revenue. So you scroll down again, and the next one I want to put, I don't want to add much information, is actually going to be percentage of refund. That is going to be refund. And I have refund rate. So now you can only see the effect on hover. So can you see it now? Total refund and gross revenue, and the refund rate is just 12% of 3.55 million US dollars. And that is exactly what it is. Okay, we're done with that. The next thing we're going to do right now is just to make sure we set up this particular one we have right here. So first of all, let us insert a chart right here, and that is going to be this particular chart here. Beautiful. So I can bring it up right to this particular part and expand it. So don't worry, we're going to work with this. It's just a matter of time. So we'll see how to clean up our dashboard to look like the previous one we've just seen. Okay, so click on this particular part here. And for me to achieve what I want, on the value area right here, I want to put my weekday. Go to calendar, and we pop in the weekday right there. So this is what we just have right now. I think this is just what it is. We have Saturday. Okay, on the x-axis, we want to actually put our refund value. So here we just type in refund, and we have our total refund. That's exactly what we get. So we want something different. So our quantity returned is going to go to the y-axis here. So if I just type in my Q, so we have the quantity refund here. So that is beautiful. So this is how I got to just create this chart right here. So the next thing now is to clean the chart up. And before I do clean the chart up, I want to add some level of tooltip so that when we hover over it, we see more information. So right now, if I hover over this particular part, it does not make any damn sense right now because the bubble is too little. So now we see on Monday how much we have actually, refunded back to our customers, and how much quantity we returned that actually amounted to what we returned back to them. But we want to see on the tooltip what is the revenue and as well the percentage of return or the return rate. So just like what we have done previously, we go down and we find where we have the tooltip right in. Once we click on that, so we just type in gross right here. And under the gross, we have to select our gross revenue, and we scroll down a bit, we add on that one, and we have refund. So that is going to be our refund rate. So here we have our refund rate right in here. So now on hover, this is what we are going to see. Beautiful, right? So we're now yet done from here. So we need to actually format this. So already this is turned on. So quickly what you need to do is just to click on the y-axis here, scroll a little bit down and turn off the title. That is gone. So I want to keep this axis here. I love it. So I'm going to keep this one here. But for this one here, the title should be shut down. So I will definitely go all the way up again. So I can just scroll down and turn off the title. Then I'll quickly turn everything off totally. So I'm left with this particular axis right here. So what do I need to do? Under this particular place here, I will just double click to edit my title. We can just do it right. So just double click it and you have it activated. So here you just type in refund value. So refund value versus gross revenue by weekday. So you get that? So you hit enter. So that creates this for you. So don't worry, we'll format it and make it look like this one because we want to actually keep all our title to be the same thing. So under this particular part right here, you just need to come here and double click on it. So once you've done that, you just type in refund value versus gross revenue by month. Here we go. Nicely done. So very easy flexibility for you on the new version. So now it is time for we to get our bubble straight. So the first thing I'm going to do now is just to go to the marker here. You can see the marker. If I scroll down, here you have this. So now let's work with the size. So can you see? So we do this increment. So we have it on 40. For example, let's have it on 50 here. So 50 is cool. You don't need to make it too much, huge. So you leave it on 50. Can you see that now? So this is what you need to do. So we can actually remove the marker away from there. So we have a trend here. I can just turn on the trend, and you might want to add a trend line to it. So you can add a trend line this way. But the trend line is the line on the trend is too much. So you can decide to use something like this. So I'm looking for something that will pop a little bit. Something like this would be cool. So now we have not agreed on the color we're going to use. But first of all, we've gotten this. So quickly, let us now get straight up to PowerPoint to see how we can actually create our template and be able to start cleaning things up a little bit the way it should be. Then we can have what we want. But before then, we can turn on something to make it easy to read. I'm going to come here now and let's say category label. Yeah, on the category label, we have the week selected. So if I select this particular customer now, can you see that now? So if I decide to use a product to actually analyze this now, you can decide to select this particular product and you see, the trend on this. And that is exactly what it is. So this is what I want you to know about. Okay, the next thing now is for we to head up straight up to PowerPoint to see how we can actually make things easy ourselves. So, all right, so here is the PowerPoint environment here. So previously we have created this. So what we need to do right now is to make sure we get off this particular one away from here and as well this one. Then this very one, we don't actually need any of this right here. We don't need this as well. So what we're going to need now is actually the same color. So I'm going to come here and use the format painter to copy and paste the color right here. So once I've gotten the color, I can actually stretch it down to this side. That is better. So for the curveness, I want to actually reduce the curveness a little bit. Can you see that? Beautiful. So once we've gotten this right, so on this particular part, we don't need this. You can just take it off. So if you've not watched the video where we created this particular, template or theme, whatever you want to call it, you want to take a look at my video number 3, or video number 3 or video number 4. You starting from the inception would be very cool for you. You're going to take everything accordingly. So I'm taking off this one on the top of it, and I'm going to take this one here. I have to take it out. So once you see this particular horizontal red dotted line, so you release, that means what you're doing is okay. So on this particular part right here, so I'm going to have to reduce it a little bit, something like this. So I can actually extend this one here. So we extend this one here a bit. That's exactly what it is. So now I have this, I'm going to take it out. Okay, for the icons we have here, we need to get an icon that will definitely speak or interpret the figures we have here. So let us go to insert. It depends on the version of Power BI you're using. So you're going to see an icon here inside this particular parts that you can actually use. So what you're trying to show on our cards, specifically on these cards you have here now. So we want to show quantity return. So I'm going to type in, let's type in analytics. So with analytics now, I'm looking for what has a chart with arrow down. A chart with arrow down, which means there is some kind of negativity. So I'm going to scroll down through and get to where I can have such a chart. So I have gotten one. So I've gotten second one again. And we'll look for another one that is gonna take us there. Yes, nicely done. I click on OK. So using this will definitely interpret what we want the way it should be. So I can just go ahead and make it a little bit smaller. So now I select them individually. So you are living here, bro. So I'm going to take you right in here. So can you get off, please? Thank you. Okay. You might be useful right here. So thank you. You are useful right here. Okay, let's say we want to use this. Now, the next thing is this. If I go to my previous one, let us go to Power BI service and look at what we have on the Power BI service. So on the Power BI service, we have this level of navigation. Can you see this now? So this is exactly what we want to create. So when I hover over this now, this is what I have. So I have to create this one here. It's not selected. Whatever I selected would have this particular white part right here. That is what we want. And we already have it. Let's find out how we can actually correct the one we have here. So now I'm going to have to just double this one. And I'm going to bring this one here to set it and make sure I have same alignment here. The spacing is very important. So this is the spacing, the level of spacing. So to be on the same line now, I can select them both. I always love to do this, shape formats, and I go to align and I align to the left, and that is beautiful. So the next thing you're going to do now is to take this off, delete this one away from here. You don't actually need it. That is very interesting. I love that. All right, are we done? I think so. So let's kind of take this to where we saved the previous one right in. So go to File and go to Export. If this is a bit complicated, what you need to do is to watch from the inception, as I've said earlier. And if you've not hit the subscribe button, you know the right way. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, and leave a comment. Let me know what you feel about this. So I'm going to actually export this as a PNG. Double click on it and see where we can take this right into. Okay. So I'm going to save this as a return. So here we go. I've saved this as returned. Just click on just this one. We just have only one already. Okay, now we can go back to Power BI. So it is time for you to furnish this. But one thing is actually not right. So that is actually the color right here. We don't have to use the same color. We need to change the color we have right here. It's absolutely important. What color should we use? So on the color aspect, I'm going to change this one to something like this. Let's go to format. And I've shown you where I pick my color from. So all of us would definitely understand that. So I'm going to go to my colors. And right here, I want to change the color code I have here. That is all. So we've actually changed this color. On this particular one right here, I'm going to leave it the way it is. So we just come to this one and change its color to the same color, but not as bright as this. So why don't we just reduce the opacity, or what I call it? Transparency. I'm sorry, I just said opacity. So transparency to 38 or to 40, depends on what you want. So I think I'm going to go with something like this. Okay. So we leave this particular middle one the way it is. And this is exactly what it is. So now we're going to use these colors, this particular same color for our charts. So it is the high time we do this. Go here again, go to export this and select the same type. And now you can see the return here. So you have to replace it. And this time around, you just do this. Okay, we are back here again. And now select no chart. Then canvas background. We go for browsing. We don't have it here. Once we double click on this, it's not here. We have to look for it. Where could that be? On the team, return. Okay, we have return. Thank you. Oh my goodness, nothing is showing up. How do we do this? I'm thinking. Okay, fine. We have to return this to 0. Now it shows up. Can you see everything is messy right here? Nothing is absolutely fine. How do we work around this? Okay, first of all, what you need to do is you come here and take this down. Not just taking it down, that is the matter right now. So we want to actually remove the background. So we have to click on size and style, and you scroll down a little bit, you can see where you can just turn it off right here. So after that, now we can just close this. Then we go to call out here, and I want to use white color for it. I go with this. Okay, what happens to the text of the category? So we want to make sure we choose to use something like this. But actually, I don't love what we have on the text. It's too long, so we can just change it. So turn off this. Should I turn off this? No. We don't want to go to the title. We are going to the category here. Open the category. We go to properties. Where could we find this? Oh, yeah, we can't do any of this here. We have to click right here, and now we can actually change it here. So what we need to do, let's type in something shorter. Return QTY for quantity. So return quantity. That changes this, and that is beautiful. Okay, now if we have this, I believe it's not that huge. So let's just kind of make it something like this. So spend some time formatting this. Is gonna make everything look catchy. So here we go. I think I have this. So the next thing now is for me to actually make sure I copy the same formatting from here and have it for this. So we copy the same formatting and have it for this. So it's going to be right a bit for this, but it's not going to be in any way right for this particular one right here because we have the background almost on white. So let us quickly format what we have on it. So go to call out here, and now we choose black color. And we go right here. So we choose this again. So nicely done. This can show up rightly the way we want it. So, but for the value we have inside it, we just have to reduce the value. And I want to go to call out now and make sure from this, let me put it on 30. Oh, nicely done. I think I love this. That is beautiful. So the next thing quickly is just to copy and paste the same thing here. And that is exactly what it is. Do you look at this? All right. So we want to use this. I'm gonna go with something like this. All right, I wouldn't spend much of time to do this, but actually this is exactly what we want. It has just given us good aspect of it here. So we click on this and change the line. So it's return. We go ahead and change the code. So that is exactly what it is. So quickly we come here. Now we just have to be here. So still be here. So now we scroll up. So we go to style and size, scroll down, turn off the background. Yep, better. So I think we have something here that we don't need. Let's take it out. So now we can manage the space we have for this. So you can just, can you see that now? We are seeing 2012. So if you want to see beyond 2012 now, you can just do this. And let's say you want to see for 2013. So once you just click on 2013 here, so it changes. We are seeing 2013 right now. Can you see that? This is nice. All right, I think I learned something that I want to show you guys. The tooltip here has a color with background of white. What if I decide to change my tooltip color? Is that not gonna be cool? It's not really important, but I just feel like I want to show you that this can be done. So let us go to our tooltip. If I scroll down, why did I do that? I don't know. I'm thinking I did that somewhere around here. Okay, let me put that on the last. I will definitely come here now and do the formatting for this. I'll show you how to change the tooltip, but not for now. Scroll down and turn off the background of this one here. The background is turned off. So we turn the background off for this one. So once we turn the background off for this one, don't worry if we are not if they're not on the same wherever now. So I just have to do this. So here we go. The next thing again is for me to go here, and now we can select the bar, and I don't want to select the same color. I want to use a trend color with a gradient. So now for the highest value, I'm going to select this color for it, and I want the color to start fading. Let's try this and see. And we want to base this not on count of customer, but we go for the customer ranking by customer here. So let's try this. So it's not really cool. So we need to adjust it. So let's get back. Don't delete, just click on this one and adjust. How do you adjust? You click right here and you come here. You select something like this, something like this. Okay, it's gonna be lighter. I think somewhere around there. Let's see what we have. I think it's better. So now we have to quickly turn off the legend. And can you see what we have now? That is nice. So this, something just happened, which means we did not do a particular thing right. This is working well. So when we go to product, we want this one to be hidden. It's not hidden. Let's figure it out. So as you can see, the inactive product is working, but when we select active product, something happened. What can we do? We have to rework on this. So quickly, you can just select here and delete this very one. So it's not more here, right? So we can quickly go back and actually have this done. So we have product selected. So product is actually active now. We have to make this inactive. That is hidden. And we have this that has corrected the whole thing for us. So we just have to quickly go right here. And this is how you can actually troubleshoot what you have. So once you know where the problem is, just reconfigure that. So I'm going to give this to it. And quickly, we have to do this and update it. I don't know why it happened, but normally it would definitely happen to someone. So inactive and now active, right? Okay, here is our active product. So we have to quickly format our active product. We go here. Okay, I'm going to select this salon. Here is it. We need to go to the bars. And I'm going to click and scroll down a little bit, click on this. So we select the gradient that has been selected. We don't want to rank product. We go to the merger we've created, and that is going to be for our product, ranking product. And for the highest, we select, I think this is the color for the highest. And for the lowest here, let's select the same color. And this time around, gonna go for more, so we can decide to select somewhere around here. So let's try to see this. Okay, now if I scroll the way up now, you can turn the legend off and I have something like this. So I can go ahead and move it. Okay, so in order to actually make sure they are in the same line, I can go here and select them both. So once I've done that, I come here, I go to the align expert here, align center, and I'm going to say align middle. So both of them can be adjusted at the same time. I can just move both of them the way I could. Okay. So now we have a space here. I want to adjust them so that they should cover up to this level here. So I'm going to do that to one of it. So this one alone. So if I just do this now and stretch it up to this level here. So let us click on this particular one. So here, that has been adjusted to. That is beautiful. Okay, for the buttons we have right here, we have to position the button where they can definitely make a lot of sense. So I'm going to have it beneath this particular part right here. That was what we did on the previous one we've seen on Power BI service. I think we've done the justification to this. So right now I click on this one here, and the next thing I'm going to do now is to go here and I'm going to check the mark. I will go for the color and I will select this. Let's select this. So we want to control it by the highest. And what do we want to do that first week? No, I think it's gonna be our return rate. Return. Okay, I think it's total refund. Let's scroll down and pick the measure. So total refund. Yeah, is it? So I'm gonna show on a gradient, and here, and the next one, I select this and I control the color. I see, I go to more colors. I just select this particular part right here. So cool. So nicely done. So quickly scroll all the way up and turn off the legend. So we have done that. So let us verify what is the size of this particular, top 3 customers right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and check that out. I think that's gonna be under title. It's 14, and we're using DN. Okay. I don't like this color. Let's just use a calm color. So this is calm. 14. Select this. So we have to change the action of this one. Come here, and is unknown now. So we have to select active product, and that should be working by now. So we select this one, and it's working. So it's floating to the wrong place. We have to bring it back. So just to take your time to format this the way it should be. So once you've done that, for the title here, we just want to change it up. So we just deselect and select back at it again. Select until you have double click on the selection. So we change the title color. So it's too bright. I'm going to select something a little bit darker. As in too dark. Yeah, something like this would be cool. So now I go here, verify the number we have right for this. Then the number is 14. And this is what we use. I'm going to select the same thing. So once I actually choose the font I want this, I would have it on 14, and I'll come here and choose to use the same color on the recent one. So I can actually go ahead and centralize it, and I put it in the middle. So I'll do the same thing to this particular one right here as well, centralize it in the middle. And if I scroll all the way up, I have to change its font, and I'm going to use this font. And for the color, I will definitely choose this color, and this is what I have. Okay, right now on this one, we have to adjust it and bring it down a little bit, and it's going to be in the same line with this one right here. Can you see our formatting? Yeah, something good is actually what it is. So beautiful. So we have this formatting done. So to keep the video short, maybe we actually settle the next part in the remaining, the last part is going to be part 6, if I'm not mistaken. That is where we're going to take control of all the dashboard. So if we go back right here right now, I'm going to click on this one. You can see if I click on this, I go to home. It's going to take me to home. I'm going to show you how to actually get this done. So to follow links to where you want to get to. So the beautiful thing about this particular page is that it shows us the summary, the right KPI that the company might want to see. So we have quantity order, net sales, and gross revenue. Just keep it few, don't do too much right here. And now we are going to see whatever we selected from here. When we open our report, that is exactly what we are going to see. You understand? So we are actually seeing 5 May right here, and August 2013. So if I go to full report now, so let us look at what we actually have right here. Can you see it now? May and August. So between these 2 dates is what we are seeing right on this now. So we have the filter to add. We have to see how we can actually integrate this. So we can select our date range here. So we can do that here. So if I do that here now, it's going to change what we have appeared right in here. And you can just actually select different month. For example, I'm going to select like 25. And that will definitely update what I have here and what I have here. And the main home page would be updated. If you know how to do this once, there is not going to be any complication again, you will know how to do and apply it to any other project you actually have. So we've done a lot. So I don't like too much long video. I'm going to make it short. I thought I'll be able to finish it in this particular part, right? But part 6 is coming up where we can see how to actually get this created and do some other touching, and that is all for you. So remember to subscribe if you've not, like, comment, and share to your friends. See you in the next video.